We were performing in Poland on the banks of a lake 80 miles from the Russian border. We were 5 miles from one of Hitler's bunkers. A huge outdoor stage was with sound and lights from Germany. We were put up in a beautiful hotel 1 mile up a hill from the concert site. The Russians were afraid of any incidents that could take place that would make them look weird in the eyes of the world, as if they didn't already. So we were told to never leave our rooms alone, only leave with 3 or 4 people at a time. That way no one could be abducted and held for money and press. The KGB had tables set up at the end of every hall in the hotel to keep an eye on us. I didn't mean to, but I made their life miserable. We were told not to leave the hotel after the concert, and by all means do not go to town on your own. Do not talk or go near the gypsies. The Russians were full of shit. The people of Poland and Hungary were great and friendly and bold and strong, and the Russians were the people to be afraid of. They were unfriendly and scary and in uniform and armed and dangerous. The gypsies were the barroom entertainers of both countries. They were the folks that played in romantic restaurants and clubs, and their music was haunting and beautiful. The night of our first concert, there were 10,000 Poles standing in the rain to hear the American country music. We were taken to the concert site in troop trucks, and as soon as it was over, we were transported back on troop trucks. Every TV crew from each Eastern Bloc country was there filming the show. It was very exciting and wonderful. At the end of the night, we were delivered back to our floor at the hotel, and we had a champagne party in John's room. I hate champagne. And I had been held back and surrounded by do this and do that and be here at such and such a time, and remember not to do this, and one thing right after another until I was ready to go into oaky postal rage. I needed to escape and blow off some steam. When I get like that, people should drive me to a bar and stay outside and wait till I'm done. Don't come in with me. Leave me alone with the locals, and I'll be fine until it's time to leave. Needless to say, about the second glass of champagne and the second speech about what a wonderful job we had done by John was all I needed to set me into true Oklahoma Woody Guthrie, true troubadour, free rambling, gotta go self. I excused myself to go to my room for a bath and bed. They all stayed for free champagne. I went straight to the room and put on my Levi's hat and old boots, opened the door, looked to both ends of the hallway. No KGB, must be having coffee. The fire escape was 25 feet from my door. I was gone. I have escaped from more people and places than anyone you will ever meet, from jealous husbands to major busts to irate bar owners. You can't keep me under lock and key. I went down that fire escape, out that door, into town and back, and came back through the front door of the hotel just to piss off the authorities. When I came back, everyone was upset. I said, I'm going to the lobby bar for another drink. You can come along and chew my ass out there. They left, and I went on to the bar. It was only 11 o'clock at night. I didn't have to sing again till the next night at 8 o'clock. I didn't know it, but they had gone to find my nephew Brian to see if he could corral me. The lobby bar had no waitress and a sign that said non-party bar. I was ready to party. Why would anyone go to a non-party bar? I left and followed some stairs down to the basement and saw a disco sign. All right. Right above the door was a sign that said Party Bar. I heard Creedence Clearwater and laughter. I went in and the music stopped and everyone got quiet. I walked over to the bar and pointed to a bottle of scotch. I said, "A glass, please." He said something, and I smiled and put a handful of Polish money on the bar along with 2 condoms that I didn't see. Everybody laughed. and the bartender got a shot glass, and I said no and made hand gestures for a water glass, and he got one, and I had him fill it 4 fingers deep, and I raised my glass to the air and turned to face the stirring room, and everyone raised their glass, and I said, my sporting days are over. My pilot light is out. What used to be my pride and joy is now my water spout. I used to be embarrassed trying to make the thing behave, for every single morning it would stand and watch me shave, but now that I've grown old it sure gives me the blues to see that thing hang down my leg and watch me tie my shoes. Well, folks, the whole room broke up laughing. The music came back on, the dancing started again, and the party was on. Everybody was drunk and having fun. About an hour into this party, my nephew Brian came in and walked up to me and said, Uncle John, we're not allowed in here. I said, hell, Brian, have a drink. He said, it's a party bar. I said, and we're partying, and handed him a water glass of scotch, and a Russian soldier proposed the next toast. Brian raised his glass and whispered in my ear, Communist Party bar. You need a party card to drink here. I said, well, brother, it's too late now. These people are drunk and so am I. Oh, shit. Yahoo. Amen. We stayed till the end of the toast and drank and thanked everyone and left. Well, once again, I had succeeded in upsetting everyone. Nephew Brian, John, Philip Morris, Pan Am, the band, the dancers, the Pope, God, Satan, and the Russians, and I was hungover and flooded with great amounts of alcoholic guilt. I was thoroughly punished and chastised and almost banished from my fellow man for life. I thought they were going to tie me in a dinghy naked and send me off into the Bering Straits to face a painful death by dehydration, starvation, and sunburn. I have spent the last 16 years of my life convinced that my drunkenness in Poland cost me my fame and fortune. Well, I can tell you here and now that my brother Dave told me when I divorced my first wife, guilt is a luxury no one can afford. It hasn't kept me from wallowing in it all my adult life, though. We finished the trip and finally made it back to Nashville. When we returned home, I bought my brother's Holiday Rambler 30-foot RV trailer, and Dave and I put it in a campground out by Opryland Park. I had a job singing at the Ramada Inn there, and they had a Ramada campground, and I worked out a trade for a space and hookups, and I needed to separate myself from John and anybody else who could tell me how to live. In September or October, John offered me a personal management contract that would include the royalties and publishing rights to my music, and I said no. He cried, and Brother Dave and I pulled the RV trailer to Baltimore, Maryland, to Debbie's mother's house. I will never involve myself with people who don't respect other people's freedom ever again. I belong on the road with no ties other than what is necessary to keep going. I don't understand the gift. It's a curse, and it's a blessing, all in one. I will rip your heart out one moment and make you feel like all the pain is worth it in the next. There you go.